Gino, how do you coach Sam Hartman?
How do I coach Sam Hartman? He's the quarterback of his football team. I'm the quarterback coach. I just coach Sam Hartman. Sam came here and he's running an offense he never ran in January. You know what I mean? He's going under center. He's calling plays in the huddle. Sam might as well have been a freshman when he got here in January. So you just coach him like the rest of the guys. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience and has a lot of tread on the tires. But you know, he's the easy one to coach. Like his preparation, his understanding. He does a really great job. He does a great job leading the other guys in our room.
What's your approach, especially from a mental aspect, with Steve and Ken?
Mentally, both those guys are really smart. So to me, it's just a matter of giving those guys opportunities, putting them in situations, and making those guys make decisions with live bullets.
Sam will kind of talk himself down and not take credit, or but what are you seeing from him that you're just coaching him as you would anybody else? But what are the things that you're seeing that you're happy with so far in camp?
I think you guys probably see it as well, having watched practice. Just his comfortability, just getting under center and with the play calls and the timing with his receivers. There's been a step made this summer. Those guys did a phenomenal job this summer, and he kind of took charge of that because as coaches, we're not allowed to be with him as much as we would like to in the summer, and it's kind of play around. And Sam took the reign on that, and they did a great job this summer. So you just notice him a lot more comfortable in the offense in some of those situations that were foreign to him in January. He feels a lot more comfortable in those situations now.
Practice felt really fired up for us as viewers today. What was it like to be out there?
Yeah, it's just short yardage, and that gets the defensive line and offensive line fired up. So whenever they get fired up and you put the ball down, our guys are going to go. So if Coach Freeman says it's going to be a live day, you're in for some excitement.
Gino, where are you guys at in the process of getting your two backups ready in the event that you're going to need one of them?
I was waiting for that one. It's a tremendous opportunity for both those guys. Typically going into a training camp, you're going to have 4 scholarship players that are, somewhere in there, somebody's vying for some sort of position battle. Ours is kind of what it is. Steve and Kenny are getting a tremendous opportunity to get a whole lot of reps in training camp that otherwise would be distributed between 3 guys. Now it's just those 2 guys getting the reps. And kind of that was the discussion with Coach Parker, Marcus, and myself kind of after Tyler left. And we're confident in their abilities, and they're getting better. I think Steve had a really good day the other night and is progressing well. And Kenny, for a kid that enrolled in January, now being here in training camp, you just see a lot of growth from Kenny daily. So I'm happy with their progress.
Because Sam is relatively new to the program, is he that much farther ahead with knowledge of the playbook than those other 2 guys? I mean, typically you'd see a starter well ahead, but maybe that's not the case here?
No, like Steve and Tyler were the ones helping, obviously, Sam with the playbook when he first got here. And Steve has a great familiarity with it. And, our room, they're really, one of our core values is unit strength. Like, our room is really tight, and those guys help each other. Sam's not afraid to ask for help if he needs it on something that Steve may have, more familiarity with. And then, in turn, Sam's got no problem helping those guys when they ask questions, just with the experience he has in games.
When you have a player caliber of Sam, how much of a difference maker can that make a football team?
Well, you see it all the time. The teams that go the farthest in the college football playoff or in the NFL playoff usually have the best quarterbacks in the league. And those guys at the quarterback position are supposed to make the guys around them better. And that's what Sam Hartman brings to the football team. He's going to make the guys around him better. And, we're fortunate to have one.
As a former quarterback, what are the challenges of not taking snaps under center to kind of learning that whole process?
It's a process now. Sam could tell you a little bit more, but it sounds really easy. Just get up there and get the snap. But when those centers start moving around or pulling, and they've got a defensive lineman that's 330 pounds lined up right over top of them, like their job's not easy either. But it took a little bit of adjustment, but you can see now, like he's truly comfortable there, and we're gonna benefit from that.
Dylan, what's it like to be part of this quarterback room, and what's the biggest thing you've taken away through 9 practices?
It's been fun. The biggest takeaway, the maturity that the room is getting. Sam brings a lot of that in there, and there's very strong camaraderie. No matter what guy's in, we're rooting behind them. And yeah, over camp we've just been able to get a whole lot closer as a room.
Give us some insight into you as a player. Describe your game and what is your approach in fall camp? What are you trying to accomplish?
My game, I'd say I like to play in the pocket. Don't like to move too much, but I can if I need to. And my approach to fall camp is take as many mental reps as I can. Reps are limited for the starters, let alone for somebody like me. So I just try to learn as much as I can from the quarterbacks in front of me and keep at it.
You have a unique position being able to see the way the guys develop more as you do those mental reps. Maybe Steve and Kenny, how have you seen those guys kind of develop?
They're on it. They've been trying to develop all off-season, especially in camp, constantly studying, whether it's with Coach Gino or not. I think they've got their heads on straight and that they're going to be fine.
Dylan, being from Louisiana, I guess what was the process of you ending up at Notre Dame?
So I'm here on a scholarship as a partnership with St. Augustine High School, my alma mater in New Orleans. So I'm on an academic scholarship. And I bet on myself here, passed up on a couple of D3 offers, and chose my education.
As far as Coach Guidugli's approach so far, obviously he has to approach it in a different way with Sam than he does with you, with Kenny. How has he sort of devoted his time to you, and what have you guys been working on himself?
To me, he just kind of makes sure that I'm taking as many mental reps as I can. He quizzes me inside of the meetings, make sure I'm on my toes and that I'm actually studying. It's easy for a guy in my position to just be comfortable, I guess, as bottom on the list, but he keeps me on my toes with quizzes and stuff like that.
And is the onus sort of more on you to kind of get that extra work, or is he kind of going out of his way to making sure that you're just as comfortable as everybody else in the room?
He's going out of his way to make sure I'm just as comfortable. I think he takes a unique approach to everybody in the room. He's covering all of us very well.
Steve, can you give us some insight into your mental approach to fall camp and what might be different from last year?
I think my approach from this year to last year hasn't really changed. I'm here to do my job every day, doing what I can to learn the offense and execute on practices. I approach every day, as Coach Free says, one day, one life, so going after it and just doing the best I can every day on the practice field.
Where have you improved, in your opinion, the most?
I think knowing the playbook more, coverage recognition, when it comes to getting through my third, fourth progression reads and being able to find my outs when it's hot or stuff like that, I think I've done a good job with that improvement.
Coach Guidugli said you kind of were pretty big in helping Sam kind of get up to speed on the playbook and everything. What's your relationship like with him?
Yeah, I would, Sam's only been here for however many months, but I would say he's probably one of my closest friends. I spend pretty much every day with him here. We're trying to do whatever we can to, make this football team get to their best and, do our jobs. But Sam's been awesome to have him here, and, he's taught me a lot so much, so far with everything that he's done here. And, it's been really great to have him.
I was going to say, what have you kind of learned from a player with that kind of experience?
Yeah, he's played 5 years of college football, going on 6, so he's had a lot of experience. He's experienced a lot of ups and downs, a lot of good moments, a lot of bad moments. Just from the mental side, I think his approach and his routine has been a big thing that I've learned from him. Just how he takes care of his body, how he executes and prepares for practice. How he goes over scripts and everything he does in the weight room.
Hey, Steve, what did last year teach you about kind of the importance of the backup being ready at any moment at your position?
Yeah, you're one play away. In my situation, week 2, I was the 2 guy, and I was one player away from there. And, just the biggest thing is that you got to prepare like you're the starter every day. You got to take every rep with the mentality that on Saturday you're going to be the guy. So attacking every day, thinking that you're going to be the starter and preparing like the one, that's what you got to do.
How much fun was a day like today where it's so lively, and as Sam mentioned, you guys get the red jerseys, so you get to see all the liveliness, but you don't have to feel it.
Yeah, I think, Coach Free's speech, if you guys heard, got everybody juiced up. It's full pad, short yardage, the O-line, D-line, guys are ready to go, but it's definitely good to, and fun to watch them get after it, but we still got to do our job, get the snap, make sure we're orchestrating everything, and, just make sure we're doing our jobs.
Do you think about your development? Like, what's next in your progression? Like, where do you feel like you need to grow the most between now and, when your opportunity comes?
I think for me, the biggest thing that I got to continue to do is just continue to command the huddle, command the offense, just play with confidence, be out there, just be confident in my checks, know where my outs are, and just continue to build on, progressions and knowing the playbook.
One more, Steve.
Steve, how have those freshman receivers kind of progressed through fall
They've
camp?
been awesome. You know, Rico, JG, Braylon, you know, Faison, like all those guys coming in. The guys that were in the spring really impressed me, and then now to see their progression, being confident in their routes, you know, recognizing coverage, just doing the little details that you wouldn't expect from a freshman in their first fall camp. Like those guys are doing it, and it's been really special to see them. Those guys are awesome at making plays.
Kenny, we had a chance to talk to you last spring, but how have you evolved as a quarterback coming into the fall camp?
I would say coming in the spring, I would have said that I was in a good spot. I would have said that, you know, I had a good grasp on the offense, but I feel like coming in here in the fall, I'd say it's taken another step forward and just learning the offense and actually feeling comfortable in it. So,
What's your rapport like with Coach Guidugli?
Guidugli, he's a great guy and also a great coach. He's easy to go to with things that are outside of football, but then also I feel like he's making me a hell of a football player. And same with Sam can agree to this too. He feels like, you know, Gino is, you know, helping him mature and grow as a quarterback as well. So,
What can you learn from a guy like Sam Hartman with his type of experience as you come in?
yeah, I would say just like you said, his experience. He's been doing this a long time, and it's easy to go to him with questions that I have that, you know, maybe stupid questions or questions that could help me on the field. And just definitely having someone like that in the room to depend on is big. So.
Kenny, what's your mentality as you go through this camp, knowing that, you know, with a good performance, you could be in a backup position and maybe just a play away from the end of the game?
Yeah, I would say that's not my main focus. I'm more so focused on myself and trying to be the best version of myself and focusing on my reps and not too worried about where I'm at on the depth chart. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself.
As you look at how you're progressing and where you fit with the speed of the college game and the knowledge, like where do you feel like you're at in that process?
I feel like I kind of accustomed to the speed of the game. That wasn't too big of a change, but yeah, speed of the game I feel like kind of stayed the same after spring ball, and then just growing with the offense and being more comfortable with that has definitely helped. So.
What was a day like today, seeing how lively it was out there, and as Sam and Steve kind of joked, it's nice being in the red jersey while everyone else is doing their stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like today, 3rd and short, goal line, backed up. That's whenever things get hectic, and you know, we're going live, so people are hitting. But yeah, being in the red definitely helps. You know, we're not really getting touched, but yeah, it's fun to see the guys riled up out there. So. Yeah.
2 more for Kenny. Kenny, what do you see as far as the growth of this receiver group? Are there any particular guys that have stood out to you so far?
I would say the guys that I rep with, Jordan Faison. He's a walk-on receiver actually, and you know, he's been turning heads. I feel like, you know, he's fast, he's making plays, so yeah, he's one to watch.
Sam, what was today like? First of all, it seemed like a really lively practice.
Yeah, they all are. I think that's something you come to learn early, especially in the spring. But obviously, getting close to the season, you know, we're starting to live up a little bit, starting to, you know, get into situational football. So, you know, that means that there's going to be some live situations, some pads popping, and you got a running back like Audric, you got a Mike linebacker like JD. There's going to be some big hits, and it's really cool. It's cool to be a part of. Obviously, you know, I'm cool with not getting hit. I'll be honest there at this point, but no, it was a great day. You know, there's a lot of just execution, little things here and there that we need to clean up, but we look really good, and I'm excited. But really, just it's always great being around the guys. Always a lot of energy, like you said, and just another great day to be an Irishman.
Where are you at in learning the playbook and getting up to speed on everything at this point?
I mean, I think every day you're always learning. I mean, I think there's always something you can grow on, something you can learn on, even if it's the most simple concept. There's always a look you haven't seen, a play, or kind of a concept that looks one way against this coverage, but a certain coverage, it's a completely different idea. And so I'm constantly growing, constantly learning, still learning the receivers, still learning the running backs, tight ends, all the way across the board. So I think that's how it's going to be all year. It's just a constant growth, and as this team grows, we're going to figure out more and more things as we play more together, and that's the goal.
Sam, coming into a new system, what did you learn about yourself as a quarterback?
I mean, I needed a lot of under center footwork work. Was probably the number one thing, which we got in the summer, and we feel very comfortable under there. And I mean, I think it's just like anything. You know, the more you do it, and the more you rep it, the easier it gets, and the more comfortable you feel. And, I think the best thing is just, you know, Coach Gino and Coach EP's, you know, belief in me, and the guys around me believing that I can do it, and just going out and execute.
The rapport with Coach Guidugli, you know, what does he bring as a quarterback's coach that you really take things away from?
I mean, him playing is a big part. Like, he's played before and done it, and you know, he kind of gets the ins and outs of playing quarterback. And you know, it's one of those things where he's a mentor to me. You know, he's a father figure. He's a big brother. He's both the same. Because you know, his age, he's not so old that you're kind of like we don't relate, but he's old enough to give me like a father figure feel. And even GP's the same way. I mean, I think on and off the field, going to them with different questions, different issues that you're going through. I mean, it's great, and it's cool to see the young guys have their, like, the young quarterbacks, young receivers, everyone on offense have guys like that. I mean, all the coaches across the board are all just great men, off the field, and then on the field, great coaches.
It's natural for the quarterback to be the leader of the offense, but when you come into a new place and you're /fighting for position, that can be difficult. Marcus told us a couple days ago that it was hard for you to kind of be the leader last spring, but since you've emerged as the number one, he's seen a difference in you. How was that kind of happened?
I mean, I think there's always challenges coming into a locker room, right? You don't really know anything about it, what the culture's like, what the guys are like. And it's really more just interpersonal relationships. I think leadership is quite simple. And at the end of the day, if you come up and you work hard, you show up on time, you do your job, right? That's probably the number one thing. And then out on the kind of smaller details is just relationships with the guys. I think that's just time. Like, I don't know. The months that I was here in the spring that I was going to be able to accomplish the relationships I wanted, but now at this point I feel like I know, like, on the offensive side of the ball, the guys really, really well, and can kind of lead and command. And again, sometimes I'm a follower. I'm still learning the ins and outs of just different things, the fight songs, it's always, each day is a new day of different tasks and different learning curves that either I'm going through or we're going through, and it's exciting, it's challenging, but what I want.
I know you've had a chance to talk to a couple of guys that have played quarterback at this school over the past couple of months. What have you learned from those guys? What have they told you about what's unique about playing quarterback here?
I mean, to go through the whole conversation, there's a million things. I mean, I think in summary, it's different, it's special here. There's a lot of eyes, which is pretty obvious at this point. And I mean, I think you never really know until you're out of it what it means to be in this position. And so, as much as I can to try and soak it in. It's a high pressure, pivotal season for myself and more important than myself, this team and this university. So just trying to take it in day by day, and we have a one play, one life mentality, and that's what we're gonna do, and trying to execute like that.
Sam, a highlight today was seeing you connect with Jaden Thomas. He beat out Sam Hartman on the play, and everybody went crazy. Just what's that relationship been like developing with Jaden, and where you've seen him come, and then being able to make that connection and get everyone fired up today?
Yeah, we kind of do different things at the beginning of practice, try and get the guys riled up. You never know how a game's going to start. Quick turnover, something change the ball, and yeah, it's great. I mean, I think with Jaden and then everybody on the outside, like they're all individuals and unique in their own way, and I think the connection with all the guys across the board has been really cool and really special. Receivers are a different position. They have to, there has to be an ultimate trust out there that you're going to make the throw and they're going to make the catch, and it's kind of like you're part of them in a big sense, and they're a part of you, and that connection's growing every day.